Good morning, you beautiful, beautiful people, on this Wednesday, January 26th. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a show like no other, as the Dream Team on Wednesdays have reunited. I'm Isaias Ramirez, joined by, we got the whole crew here. We got Amina, we got Alana, we got Aidan. Everyone is here. We're going to have a great show. And the topics are certainly interesting today, as we're going to talk about the tragic death of two New York City cops, scary statistics from San Francisco, and even a protest here at Montclair State. And tune in for the second hour, as we're going to have Matt Boucher from the Red Hawk Sports Network talk about sports, guys, your favorite thing. Everyone loves sports. Woo! Guys, it's going to be a fun one. But first, Amina, we got some news around here, around the world, and I would love to hear it come from your voice.
All right, so let's start with the national news. Biden's administration is officially withdrawing its COVID-19 vaccination and testing regulation aimed at large businesses with 100 or more employees. This is coming after the Supreme Court's decision to block the rule earlier this month. The rule would have required workers at big companies to get vaccinated or face regular COVID testing requirements. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration confirmed the withdrawal Tuesday, but are still strongly encouraging workers to get vaccinated. In state news, Montville police are currently searching for 39-year-old Chang Shao and her two children, 3-year-old Ethan and 2-year-old Ian, who were reported missing by Chang's husband on Sunday. Authorities say that it appears that they left the home sometime between 6:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. The case has now reached a federal level, according to prosecutor Robert Carroll. Carroll says their primary concern right now is to try to get their location and find out if they're safe. In local news, classes at Prospect Park Public School on Brown Avenue in Passaic County will remain remote until further notice. Several heating and cooling units ruptured as a result of frozen coils, according to Taisha A. Reels, superintendent of schools. This has caused extensive water damage to classrooms. Students will continue with remote instruction until the building has been deemed safe for in-person return. And for the weather today, it is clear with a high of 45 and a low of 21, with a humidity level of 47% and moderate air quality with a level of 55.
Wow. Thank you very much, Amina. That was great. I will say, I hope we find that family. That's scary. And that's a long window of when they were expected to have left.
Yeah.
6:30 to 4 p.m. Hopefully we find them, guys. And the weather, I don't know why, but I felt like today was extra cold on my walk here.
It was walking up the stairs.
Yeah, maybe
was
it's always a
walking up the
long walk
stairs.
for me. I just feel a little bit more.
Yeah.
But now we're going to transition to the world of sports. I know everyone here is such a huge fan, and I can't wait to hear your opinions about, what's going on in the NFL as things are popping off. Head coach Sean Payton has resigned from the New Orleans Saints after 15 years as the head coach. The future of the Saints looks to be a rough one, as in the past 2 years, they have lost Drew Brees, their legendary starting quarterback. Their next, heir to the throne, Jameis Winston, started off great last season and then tore his ACL. And now they lose their head coach that has brought, a sense of happiness there in New Orleans, as he, put them through a tough time following the events of Hurricane Katrina. Now, in more NFC South news, Tom Brady says no imminent decision on his playing status will be made anytime soon. The star quarterback has teased at a potential retirement due to spend more time with his family. Now, in the NBA news, the most ridiculous game I've ever seen. Went to bed thinking that the Wizards were about to win against the Clippers. Instead, they blew a 35-point lead and somehow lost. I don't know how that is physically, mentally, even in a video game possible, but it happened. Now, in more NBA news, Nikola Jokic is the first player to record 5,000 rebounds and 3,000 assists within his first 500 games. Lastly, in NBA, the star Nets guard James Harden is rumored to be mulling his future in Brooklyn. The star is said to be incredibly frustrated with Kyrie's playing status due to his vaccination status. And for those who don't know, Kyrie Irving is not vaccinated and can only play in away games due to New York City guidelines. Lastly, the world of sports. I may not be a baseball fan, but turns out people still like it. Hey, and it's actually in a lockout, and no one knows that, which is surprising to me. But Barry Bonds did not make the Baseball Hall of Fame in his last attempt to get in. And for those who don't know who Barry Bonds is, He's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. But the problem with Barry Bonds is that he took tons of steroids. And now writers have determined, because that's who votes to see who gets into the Hall of Fame, that Barry Bonds does not deserve to get in. Meanwhile, they just allowed a lot of other people who did steroids to get into the Hall of Fame. So, if you're going to be on one side, you got to be on that one side completely, in my opinion. That has been your sports report for hour one, guys. Can't wait to do it again in hour two. Who knows? Maybe some new events occur within the hour. But now we have even more things to talk about, a little more serious, as a pair of New York Police Department officers were killed in the line of duty by a gunman for the first time since 2017. Tragedy has hit New York City as the second officer involved in the shooting has been killed. The complications following the injuries suffered from the incident are the cause of his death. Officer Wilbert Mora, who was age 27, was taken off life support at a Manhattan hospital 4 days after the gunman shot him, and Officer Jason Rivera, who was only 22, as they responded to a domestic disturbance call. The domestic disturbance call was from a mother trying to help her son seek mental help. After the mother called 911, the officers arrived, where the situation only escalated. Upon entering the home, LaShawn J. McNeil, the son, threw an open bedroom door and shot the officers. Rivera was pronounced dead shortly after the shooting. Mora had been in critical condition since the shooting, and he was moved to a different hospital on Sunday from Harlem Hospital to NYU Langone Medical Center. Even after it was clear Mora wouldn't survive, he was still transferred to a different hospital in order to donate his organs. Wow, that is very scary.
It is.
And they were so young, both of them, 27 and 22. They just started life.
That's absolutely tragic.
It's just hard to, I think a lot of times, in this country, especially, we have a very rough relationship with police officers because there's a lot of bad ones and there are good ones. And I'm sure hopefully these two were obviously good cops, and they were so young still too. And for them to just go into work trying to help the community, and for both of them to lose their lives, is certainly a scary thing for not only police in the department now, who I'm sure are shooken up, and then people who aspire to be police. Maybe this could spark them to maybe pursue a different career in, criminal justice instead of being a police officer. But wow, that's tough.
Yeah, speaking of like different careers, the fact that it was a mother calling to get her son mental health, I really don't think officers should have showed up at the scene at all. I think the fact that in the story it states that they escalated it, I think there's a
No. There wasn't the police that escalated it.
It was just the scenario.
It was already getting to like a physical confrontation, and she needed the police to come down. The mom later, like if you more into the story, when the mom called, she never expected it for him to even have like a weapon. Like it was just more yelling, and then she needed help because obviously that's her son, and I imagine that he's more physically capable than her. So that's why they were called. And then as they arrived, I guess it set him off. So it's pretty much as soon as they came, he ended up attacking them.
That's awful. That's tragic.
Very tragic. Well, we hope their families get the, closure that they can possibly get from a situation like this. And yeah, moving on to another story. Aidan, San Francisco has some disturbing statistics coming out of it.
Yeah, a lot of downers this morning. San Francisco has seen a disturbing increase in reported hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders last year. The astonishing number is up 567% from the previous year. Mayor London Breed pledged continued support for the community, saying she suspects actual numbers are much higher because people are reluctant to report to the police. The initial count shows 60 victims in 2021, up from 9 in 2020. Half of last year's victims were allegedly targeted by one man. Hateful attacks against the AAPI community, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders surged nationally during the pandemic. The words and actions from former President Donald Trump, calling COVID-19 a derogatory nickname that insulted China, seemed to be the kickstarter of these malicious attacks. The Stop AAPI Hate Coalition out of San Francisco State University tracked more than 10,000 incidents of hate from March 2020 to September 2021 in San Francisco and around the country. Online clips of Asian Americans being attacked or robbed on public streets alarmed the community so much that frightened seniors stayed home. More recently, former San Francisco Bay Area resident Michelle Go died in New York City after a mentally disturbed man pushed her in front of a subway. Officials say there is no indication of the man was motivated by racial bias, but given their times, many people suspect otherwise. Also,
Another tough one.
I stole this mask from my resident building, and I've realized that I cannot talk for a long time in it.
Oh man, I got some other ones if you need some during the break, Aiden.
No, it's okay. I'm amazing, but
Oh.
that is so unbelievably tragic. It's just 567%. That's more than double. That's more than triple.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that is an absurd statistic to even read. And when I was doing my research prep for all this stuff, I saw this article come up, and then I had to read it 3 times just to make sure that was the correct statistic. And I know that was definitely a movement going on where Stop Asian Hate, but to be up that much specifically in one city, could you imagine what the total numbers are for the world, in this
Right?
country especially? That is a dangerous thing to be happening right now.
Yeah, it's not even the physical aggression too. One of my friends back in my hometown, her family owned a Chinese food restaurant, and they went out of business because in the COVID-19, when that started up, it was like microaggressions too of the community who just
Absolutely.
refused to eat out at Chinese
Mhm.
restaurants.
And then even a lot of the local ones before the pandemic, obviously you could just walk into any kind of restaurant, order what you want, and go. And then during the pandemic, for some that stayed the same, but for a lot of Chinese and Asian restaurants, they actually set up this thing where it's almost like a drive-through window within their own store, so no one could like get in there. And then I was talking with someone who was like the daughter of the family, and then she was saying that they had to set that up because of safety precautions, because they were getting some wild customers saying terrible things to them, and that was the only way to prevent someone from walking in and then prevent someone from escalating a situation should they walk in. So I mean, that's just, you know, it's so sad just because they're just living and they just look the way they look, and for some reason someone goes out of their way to target these people. Especially there was for a long time during the pandemic, there was like specific targets towards elderly Asian people as well. And I kept reading articles about that for the show and then obviously online. But it was disgusting because how are you going to attack? Like, it doesn't matter. It's how are you going to attack anyone, first off, but especially like an 80-year-old woman or man just walking in the street with their groceries. And then you got to the point where not only were they beating people up, but they were murdering people in daylight and no one was doing anything. And then you see other videos where they're on like a New York City subway, and everyone's just, doing New York subway things, minding their own business. And all of a sudden this dude starts attacking this elderly Asian woman, and no one stops it. A whole group of subway passengers are in this subway all together. Someone is getting jumped, presumably for no reason, because there's a long intro into the video, just a person recording. And then no one did anything. And they just let this person beat up this poor old lady who I'm not even sure she survived the attack, if I'm being honest, because it was brutal. So now, seeing the statistic isn't surprising, but it is surprising. It's insulting sometimes to live in a country with people that think this way and that carry out aggressive attacks like that. Anything else, guys, before we head to a break? Final statements while I pick out a decent song to brighten the mood.
Well, also, like, this poor woman, she was pushed in front of a subway. That's awful. Like, getting hit by a subway train?
Yeah, and then I don't know. They say it wasn't racially motivated or anything, but
it sounds like it was.
Sounds like it was, because most people tend not to just push someone in front of a subway.
I know. I take the train a lot, and I know that's one of my parents. They're always warning me. They're like, "Stay away from the yellow lines."
Yeah.
People are crazy on the subway because it's happened before. But given the times and just given that she was seemingly targeted for no reason at all, it was definitely racially motivated, and there's no chance it wasn't.
100%.
It's so tragic because you look at these crimes. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was that video that trended for a while during peak COVID-19 where it was that elderly Asian man on a bike ride through New York City, and he just got punched in the head and beaten.
Oh, yeah.
And no one said anything. That just shows how willfully ignorant people can be when they care more about their own safety than the safety of the community.
Couldn't have said it any better, Aidan.
Let me do the funny scroll. And okay.
Wait.
Oh,
Let's actually talk about some sleepy chicken.
oh, okay.
Who?
Okay. The Sleepy Chicken Challenge is TikTok's latest dangerous trend. It feels like this is a monthly occurrence at this point. TikTok remains undefeated as a new idiotic trend has popped again. We love delicious chicken in the oven, pan fried, deep fried. Any way you cook it, it always comes out good. But if we know one thing about online food trends, someone had to take it way too far. Thus, we have a new trend called the Sleepy Chicken Challenge. How is the chicken sleepy, you may ask? Well, the video starts off boiling chickens. Then naturally, as one does, you add NyQuil to it and simmer it until it is cooked. The original video for the Sleepy Chicken Challenge originated in 2020 from what looks like to be a satire account from the artist Rob Flo. Flo's groundbreaking recipe for sleepy chicken involves pouring 4/3 of a bottle into a frying pan with chicken breast. He also pours the used cough syrup back into the bottle, and the chicken is not even cooked all the way, but has a bluish green tint to it. New users are recreating the videos, but luckily, no one has been seen eating it yet. But if we know the country we live in, expect to see a Florida man story somehow related to this.
What in the world? What are we doing?
As long as no one's eating it, that's actually kind of funny. Yeah, I might be attempting this one, Isaiah.
No, Aidan, I will punch you in the gut.
It would be
Are
so
we
funny.
that bored as like
Has this has this like actually been on you guys' TikTok feed?
I have
never
not
seen
seen
it.
it.
I was gonna say I've
No.
never seen this.
This is definitely a weird side of TikTok.
Bone Hall Kitchen is about to smell like chicken and Pepto Bismol, I promise.
Oh my God.
Experiment with all different kind of liquids to put on chicken. I will say, the trend is definitely very stupid. But before we get into more detail about that, the most annoying part to me about the situation is that they wasted chicken on a NyQuil TikTok video.
Thank you.
Like, I've been to a ton of grocery stores recently, and the chicken section is empty.
Isn't there like a chicken scarce?
Yes,
Mhm.
and now we're
Chicken
wasting
Why am I
chicken with
not hearing about
NyQuil.
this? No, I
That's
used to
what-
work at a grocery store.
Yes, there's a chicken scarce, and that's why like
Yeah.
I think like the beginning of the month or something, Taco Bell had chicken wings, and people were like, it's a chicken scare, so it can't be chicken. And
Yeah.
like, people were suggesting it was like squirrels or something.
What happened? Who took all the chickens? What's going on?
Well, I mean, even what is it called? Buffalo Wild Wings.
Mhm.
They and Wingstop, they had to start making thighs because wings are so hard to get now. So they have limited wing supplies.
When did this
To
happen?
think the day would never come. Here it is.
I know.
I
We're
thought
running
we
out.
had just kind of like it, and I thought it was kind of like Minecraft. We just keep making more chickens.
Stupid.
I didn't think we could run out of them.
Apparently we can. It's been tough because there was one time I was trying to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and like order it and then bring it home kind of deal because I love wings. Some
Same.
Asian zing sauce, blue cheese, call it a day. So I went to go order and they're like, sorry, item not available. So I'm like, did I click the wrong deal or something? So I refreshed the app and then I tried to order again there and they say, sorry, item not available. So then I'm thinking, are they out of chicken? So then I was told, just call the store. Maybe there's something wrong with the app, which, happens with apps. So I call, I'm like, can I place an order for our chicken wings? Like, oh, sorry. We're actually all out of chicken wings. And then it's wild to me that a Buffalo Wild Wings, it's in the name, has run out of wings. It's sad, man. I like chicken, and the fact that I can't get my hands on chicken when I want my hands on chicken is a shame.
It is.
Guys, Lana, you gonna boil chicken this way?
never
Never.
I-
What's your go-to chicken then?
like place to get chicken?
Yeah,
Popeyes.
fair.
Mm.
Okay, so when you order Popeyes, what's your side?
It varies between either mashed potatoes or the Cajun fries.
Okay. Amina, you got a fried chicken place? Any place you like to go to?
Wingstop
Oh, Wingstop's
all
great.
day.
I love the fries from Wingstop too.
They have
Yes.
good fries.
They're like sweet almost. It's weird, but like
Love
Interesting.
them.
Yeah. Aidan?
I'm gonna be straight up. Not even
I
wings.
swear if you say
but-
KFC, I'm
No,
gonna
no,
drop
no,
kick
no,
you.
no. A chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Oh, that's fair. I
Right?
mean, Popeyes is elite.
Am
Definitely
I
a
the
top
only
there.
one who
Love
doesn't eat
Popeyes.
Popeyes?
You don't like Popeyes, Lena?
Popeyes.
I don't like Popeyes or KFC. If I had to pick one, I'd eat at Popeyes, but like I don't.
Oh, KFC, I understand not liking them, but
KFC.
Popeyes?
Understandable.
Like-
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I love Chick-fil-A, but technically I shouldn't eat it. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm-
no, that's the same position I'm in.
yeah.
Chick-fil-A is too basic though, I feel. Like I'll give them credit, they have some juicy chicken, but flavor-wise, there's no real seasoning to
I'm
it.
really there for the lemonade. Let's talk about
Interesting.
it.
The
I'm really there for
Chick-fil-A
the
sauce,
lemonade.
too.
I gotta be honest, I don't like Chick-fil-A.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just very overrated, I gotta be honest. To me, Chick-fil-A is like The Office. I recognize a lot of people like The Office. I can't stand The Office. And that's how I feel.
You know, that's fair. I think I would have liked it a lot less if I had one closer to me. But the closest Chick-fil-A to me was like an hour away. So I got it very rarely.
Got it.
So I think it was more of those things where I was like, wow, this is cool. I get it like once a year.
I was gonna say, I only eat Chick-fil-A when I'm like having the best day of my life. Literally the best
You
day
gotta
of my
reward
life.
yourself, get a treat. I will say, guys, let me put you on to my. I have a tough time differentiating the two now because they both are really great fried chicken places. So it's 1A and 1B. 1A is Jollibee. It is this Filipino restaurant that is like they make fried chicken. So their fried chicken is so perfect. It's so crunchy. It's so juicy. You can get either regular or spicy. If you get spicy, it's definitely spicy. Let me tell you. So that's my go-to with a little bit of white rice. But the key is that when you order the chicken, they give you this gravy. Oh, it's so good. And you just pour it on the chicken. You pour it on the rice. Oh, chef's kiss. Second one is a Korean fried chicken place, the real KFC, guys. It's called Bonchon. And so their chicken is so good. And if you guys haven't been to Bonchon, there's one pretty close to campus. So I'm not telling you, but hypothetically, if you wanted to,
Throwing it out there.
throwing
It's
out,
the
showing
best
a
chicken.
couple feelers, y'all.
I will hike there.
If you hike there, it's well deserved. And
Just
you
for the
can
chicken,
literally
man.
hike back to campus, go into your dorm, open the box of chicken, and it will still be crunchy.
If you're hiding there, let me know. I'll go with you.
Mm.
The
'Cause I'm
morning bus
hungry
hike.
now.
Me
Morning
too. This
buzz.
is a
Maybe
rough
we'll
story
have
to
some
talk about.
chicken for lunch.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
it's sounding like.
I will not. I'll be having spam and eggs.
Oh,
You know what
And
has the
rice.
best fried chicken I've ever had?
Hello.
Sam's Dining Hall on
You're a
campus.
liar, bro. Aidan, you're muted. Yeah, I need to find a sound effects. I'm disgusted. Someone talk so I can buy some time to find a sound
why
effect.
did you say that?
'Cause it's so awful. I've been into the fried chicken one time and it was pink.
You what?
They don't. Okay, but I have a question for you.
This is
Sam's
disgusting.
or Freeman?
Freeman, easy.
Okay. me
Sam's
too.
makes me upset.
Okay.
And the
I'm-
staff bullied me one time.
Oh.
Listen, if there's anyone listening to the show right now, feel free to message anywhere how we feel about the fried chicken dilemma going on right now. But more importantly, what Aidan just said on air, because that was
I'm so sorry.
that is a shame.
the worst thing I think I've said on the show.
That is the second worst thing you said after you proudly admitted to having Apple Music. Guys, we're going to transition from this story into another one, as a man will do anything for family, just like Dom Toretto. So I was having a very interesting time writing this story. And, you know, honestly, Aidan, I kind of want you to read this because I think I went unhinged at 12:30 last night. So go ahead, lead the way, because I do not want to read the story.
Okay. Man will do anything for family, just like Dom Toretto. Waller Hickox values the word family, and not a single soul would ever hurt his family. What kind of family? Oh, yes, his dog family. A family that is built on strong family morals. A family that would never turn its back on family, because then they wouldn't be family, any more than they would be acquaintances. As the saying goes, I don't have friends, I don't have family, but I do have a dog family. Back to the story. Hickox was injured by a bear that was attempting to enter his Daytona Beach, his Daytona Beach, Florida property through his porch. In a video, Hickox can be seen standing near the camera when a bear suddenly climbs through the door. The shocked man quickly jumps into action and starts pushing the bear back out the door. The animal briefly starts to climb over Hickox's back, and appears to take a few swipes at the man. After finally pushing the bear outside, Hickox quickly grabs a nearby bench and pulls it in front of the door. He then runs into the house. During the incident, Hickox's dogs are very visible on the porch. Not a lot went through my head at the moment, other than what's going to happen if he gets past me and into the house where the rest of my dogs and my wife was at. Luckily, everyone is safe, and Hickox has a couple of injuries that will heal soon. Are you telling me this man just left 2 of his dogs on the porch?
No, he got the dogs inside the house as well.
I was gonna say, did he just?
Here's the thing, Aidan. Last night when I was doing that story, I was like, how many times can I fit the word family into one paragraph? And that's the amount of times I did it. And, you know, that might be my proudest moment here on the Morning Buzz.
The best sentence I've read on the show. Oh my God.
I could not stop laughing as you were reading that, actually. I'm very proud of you for not only committing to it, but you know, you nailed it. You got the delivery right. Everything was perfect. And yes.
When I was reading it at first, I thought it said the bear was attempting his Daytona Beach. I imagine this man squaring off with the bear on his own like stretch of beach. Like the climactic end to a movie.
That's exactly how it would go. 100%. But guys, this man is wild. He straight up took on a bear on his porch.
He tanked it too, pushing it through a door. Like, can you imagine shoulder checking a bear back through a door?
Like, we are underestimating the strength of this man. That is crazy.
Is the video on the news page?
Oh my God. About to get it up. So, Lana, what do you think about it?
I have no words.
You have 0 words.
I'm still confused about the whole dog family. So is it just a guy with a family of dogs in his house?
No, that was me being very extra. It's just a man that happens to own dogs. There's no just, you know, family.
He has a wife and at least 4 dogs.
He does have a wife, guys.
That sounds like the life.
Oh my God, I am watching the video.
Hold on, we're about to pull up the video, guys. For the viewers on Facebook Live, this is going to be the most interesting set of video ever. Guys, straight up, the bear comes through. He's able to block the bear with a giant outside chair rocker, I guess. And then he's able to get everyone inside.
He tanked it too.
He straight up tanked a bear.
Audio listeners, love you to death. This man is on his hands and knees, shoulder checking the bear out the doorway before grabbing a bench, throwing it in front unscathed. Wow.
He did actually suffer a couple scratches.
He looked okay though on the video.
Yeah.
Like not like he didn't get swiped out or clawed. Like you hear all these things about bears attack. Like they're brutal.
Like he definitely got best case scenario in this.
What a champ.
In this universe. I think in an alternate universe, that man gets destroyed by that bear.
You know how sometimes you do something stupid and like you picture yourself dying for a second and you're like, wow, that was me dying in an alternate universe.
You know, Aidan, what do you do in your free time?
Has that never happened to you guys?
I'm just literally sitting here trying to.
I'm sorry, what?
Really? No, like I'll be longboarding and I'll fall off my board and I'll be like very close to a curb and I'll be like, wow, in some alternate life, I probably hit my head on that curb and just died.
You go instantly into alternate life theory after falling off your skateboard?
The multiverse is real, man.
Jeez.
I have if I think I'm about to die, I laugh about it.
Oh, interesting.
Really? I imagine how like mad my alternate selves would be that I made it through.
It's like the what is it, the Rick and Morty episode where it's all like Rick's dad in one building, like in a daycare center. I feel like that's what alternate Aidans are in a universe like. Yeah. They're just all in one room together and like everything's fine here. We love it.
Oh my God, that would be insanity.
Could you imagine like we actually like met our alternate person?
I have.
I think I wouldn't be able to stand myself. Like,
bro, but you ever think about that though? Like that feels like a shower thought where you're just like taking a shower and you get in like some deep thinking and you're like, man, there's an alternate universe me that is not taking a shower right now.
That's what I'm talking about. That's like the death thing. Where I'm
like, no, now I get it, Aidan. I've never thought about the whole death scenario though, where it's like, man, alternate me just died kind of thing. But
it's like, I don't know if it's intrusive thoughts or what, but like another time I was at a restaurant, I was going down the stairs and a waitress almost knocks into me with like platters full of food. And I'm like, wow, if she hit me, I could have fallen down these stairs and died. And I was like, that's
Jeez.
another alternate me gone.
This is a lot for almost 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wait, do you guys like ever like sit and like if you're in your car and just be like, wow, what if I just like drove off the bridge right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be doing
100%. I'll be driving, and then all of a sudden, like especially in the early mornings, because I don't really get a lot of sleep these days.
Mhm.
I just think, man, if I accidentally close my eyes for like 5 seconds, it's a wrap for me and whoever's around me.
that. Yeah, no,
And that's what I'm. Then I have to like
oh, yeah.
prep up, and then I'm like, let me turn up the radio a little bit more because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm about to fall asleep while driving. And I never understood that either. Like when you are practicing for your driver's test and all this stuff, they always say like things that can happen on the road where you get like road hypnosis or whatever, where you're just driving and it's almost like you forget you're driving,
Mhm.
or when you're
That
tired.
happens to me.
Yeah. So I never was like, how can you get tired while driving? Like I feel that's impossible. And then it's not until you start driving where you actually experience it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
actually am tired while driving, and this is not an ideal scenario.
No, hey, shout out Caitlin, I love you. Anyway, I went to
Shout
see
out
her
to
in
Caitlin.
Cape May, a while ago, and I left at like midnight, and Cape May from my house is like 2 hours away. I was on the parkway just passing out at the wheel. It was the most awful
Oh.
experience I've had. I slammed 3 monsters throughout that car ride.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was so rough.
That's terrible.
There was a point where I blinked and I was like 4 exit signs ahead, and I was like, oh,
Ugh.
that's not good.
I feel like for me at this point, I need to invest in like a portable espresso machine just so I can have that instant kind of whack of energy so I can carry out through my day. Because tonight, I think I'm here until around 9 o'clock or so tonight, because my last class is like 4 hours.
Mhm.
So by the time I leave tonight and drive home, it's going to be an interesting experience, and hopefully I'll have some more coffee in me by then. But I feel like I already need a cup of coffee.
I can get you a monster there.
And honestly, Aidan, it wasn't until yesterday where I was sitting and I contemplated I should probably get a monster today or an energy drink. And then I thought, man, future me is going to regret that. So then I decided not to.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
I feel it's bound to happen at some point. And when you see that happen, just
would
know
be
I
so
am
proud.
not in an okay place.
No,
everything is bad right now.
my body is such just a tolerance to caffeine where now it keeps my body awake, but my mind slowly starts to shut off. And I'll be like in
God.
bed, I'll be like, I can't sleep, but my mind is tired. But I consume so much caffeine that my body is still ready to go.
Aidan, what are you doing?
It's awesome.
You have to limit yourself. You really, Caitlin, I know you're listening now, confirmed by Aidan. You need to put your man in place. You need to rescind some of his monster rights. I get it. He likes to stay awake, but you need to have a sit down conversation with him and maybe transition away from monster, go back to coffee. And now I know, I think he said she does not like the smell of coffee. Or
It's the black coffee.
black coffee.
Awful Wawa, dark, gross black
seems
coffee.
racially motivated, Caitlin.
No.
I'm kidding. No, but maybe let him drink the coffee because this monster thing's got a little wild.
Kenny was the target of your jokes last semester. Who is going to be the new racist joke target?
Kenny was just an easy target for that, to just always say something racist,
So funny.
especially considering his Halloween costume, which he meant well. But after looking back on it, not the smartest decision. And I will not say what the costume was because Kenny's a great guy.
Kenny.
I will say his choice of Halloween costume should change. Maybe just put on a Ninja Turtles mask. Nothing is ever bad about a green turtle.